Welcome to your grandma's attic. We're back with a UFC episode. Take it away, Nathan.
So
Oh, I'll explain what.
today we're doing the UFC 261 predictions. The fights are tomorrow night. You can see Jack's got his Sean O'Malley shirt. He's not fighting tomorrow, but yeah, we're just gonna go around, see who we have, and just give reasons why. All right, so for first fight of the night on the main card, we got Anthony Smith versus Jimmy Crute.
Jimmy the
Um,
Brute.
I think this is going to be a good fight. We're going to see if Crute can pass the test. He's one of the hottest prospects under 25 right now, but it hasn't really faced someone as good as Lionheart. Obviously, Lionheart was on a bit of a skid, but just came back with a good win against Devin Clark. So we'll see where he's at in his career. So it's a real crossroads fight for both of these guys. But honestly, in this fight, I think I got to go Anthony Smith. I think he's just got the experience. 34 and 16. Crute's only 12 and 1, so I don't think Crute's been tested enough. I think I go Anthony Smith.
Let me take this.
All right, Jack, take it away, buddy.
Alex, you go.
I gotta go Crute. I was watching some footage on the Contender Series, and this guy can tank shots and dish it. This guy has a chin of steel. He'll take it. They'll start throwing. They'll start connecting with his jaw, and he'll start throwing back. I see this guy I don't see it being, it's not going to be a domination, but it's going to be a good fight, but I just see Crute getting a TKO. I feel like he could take the punishment, and then he could also dish it too, and he's just a slugger.
All right, my prediction's similar to Alex's. One thing that I will say before I say my prediction for when Aiden's comes around, he's not the most educated when it comes to the UFC. He's never actually watched a fight, so just don't take anything he says too seriously.
Whoa.
But in the case of Jimmy Crute versus Lionheart Smith, I'm gonna have to oppose Pfeiffer. I'm going Jimmy Crute with this one, and I think it'll be a similar fight to Lionheart versus Rakic, where Lionheart just he has a chin. He won't go down easily, but I feel like Jimmy Crute will just dominate him on the feet for the 5 rounds, and hopefully Lionheart's corner is a bit smarter this time. And if the same thing happens in the last that happened in three rounds. Hopefully his corner's smarter than they were in the Rakic fight. And if he does take that much damage again, that they pull him out, because that was sad to watch. Aiden, so what you got?
I'm gonna go Anthony Smith just because I feel like Pfeiffer basically took my whole argument. I was gonna say because of his record. Bro has 34 wins compared
and
to
14 losses.
60, but he's got 50 fights.
That's a shit ton of experience. Like that's probably
so that could mean he's on his way out.
We'll see. We'll see tomorrow, I guess. But I'm gonna go with Anthony Smith.
What'd you say? Yeah, Crute has 1 loss. I think he's like 12 and 1.
Oh.
It'll be 2 after tomorrow.
I'll see about that. Lionheart Smith has like 16 losses. Alex.
16.
How old is Anthony?
Anthony Smith's only like 32, 33. Like he's not super old as far as MMA
He's not
goes.
super old. Has great
What's his name?
experience.
Crute, isn't he only 27?
He's
Yeah,
25.
under 25. 25 or under.
How long has he been in the UFC for? Was it just those 13 fights, or are some of those from?
No, he was.
No. I think this is Crute's 4th or maybe his 5th fight in the UFC.
The thing with Lionheart Smith, man, he's still pretty young to have that much experience. Like he's one of those guys like Masvidal, like even you can say Max Holloway with the amount of fights he has. Like he's just one of those guys that'll never turn down a real fight. He's always active, and man, he's a good guy. He's a good guy, but I just don't see him getting past Crute. Move on to the next fight.
All right, the next fight on the main card is Uriah Primetime Hall versus Chris Weidman.
There's gonna be a
These
match.
two, it's actually their second fight. They fought on the regional scene a while back, with Weidman taking that one.
A KO, I think.
Yep, it's KO. I think in this one, I think I gotta go Uriah Hall. He's kind of been supposed to be much better than he is, but he's still got some pop, as we saw against Anderson Silva, and I think Chris Weidman's chin is just kind of gone, and Uriah is gonna clip him and put him to sleep. 2nd round KO.
Specific. Who wants to take the next one?
I think, Uriah Hall in the freaking domination. Chris Weidman, he had some good runs, with Silva being the taunty bastard he is. He got that title, but he's old now. He's got a horrible chin. He's made out of glass. I don't see him even staying there for a round. If Uriah gets, one of those good overhands, he's over. It's going to be good night. And I really don't think that Weidman has the striking ability that he had before.
I'm pretty much on the same page with that, man. I liked Uriah Hall's fight versus Anderson Silva. He definitely looked better than he has in his previous fights because, like, both of those two guys, especially Uriah Hall, I think he's like 17-9. He has a pretty, it's not a pretty record to say the least. But that first fight versus Weidman, if people are taking that into consideration in this fight, it's stupid. That fight was so long ago, and they've both changed so much. Obviously, with Weidman's chin, not it's one of the worst. It's one of the worst in fighting. I think similar to Pfeiffer, except I'm saying first round KO for Uriah Hall.
I got that too.
I guess I'll go ahead and make this one unanimous. I'll go with Uriah Hall as well. Based on everything you guys have said, I mean, he's beaten Anderson Silva. Nathan said he's had a sort of underwhelming career, and he should be better. But 17-9, it's not the greatest record in the world. But you guys are talking about how Chris Weidman can't really take shots like he might have been able to before, and if Uriah Hall can hit him hard enough, then they should knock him down. And I'll go third round KO.
Just so we're all clear, that win against Anderson Silva is not as impressive as it might sound. Obviously,
but also because I know you said the Weidman fight was like forever ago, but like I don't know, maybe he's coming to this fight thinking, this guy still has one over me, and it's time to.
Yeah, no, for sure. But the thing is, for Weidman, is like, I'd say career-wise, he definitely is way more accomplished. Like when Weidman beat Anderson Silva the first time, that was Anderson Silva's. That was the downfall. He was at his peak. He was winning that fight against Weidman too. He was winning the fight, and then he started doing some little dances, and we all saw what happened. But well, except for Aiden. But for Uriah Hall's fight versus Silva, it was recent. It was his most recent fight. It wasn't a good version of Anderson. But now we are on to the one of the three title fights. It feels like we've been seeing three title fights a bit more in UFC in the past couple of years. The last fight for Masvidal versus Usman was also three title fights, I believe. But who do we got? We got Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade.
I'll take this one first.
Go for it.
All right, Alex. All right.
I don't even see this being close. I think Shevchenko is going to absolutely just dispose of her corpse. I think right now, other than Amanda Nunes, she's probably, I don't know if she's the best, but she's one of the best. She's definitely looking the best right now. Pause, because she's ugly to me. I just don't think that, what's the other chick's name called?
Jessica.
I don't think she's a hard hitter. I mean, you look at her, she looks like a hard hitter. She looks like a dude. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Shevchenko's just more skilled and talented and just a better fighter overall. I think it's going to be a domination.
I got the same thing. I got Valentina. But I think it's a closer fight than people have it. Valentina's like a minus 440 favorite. She's got the reach advantage. She's more proven. But Andrade, even Rose Namajunas said earlier in the week, Andrade is the hardest she's ever been hit. So I think there's definitely a chance Valentina gets clipped. But I think Valentina is definitely the favorite, and I'll take her, especially with that 5-inch reach advantage. I think Valentina just manages the distance, takes her to a unanimous decision.
Really?
I think, I don't know. Like, I think that I'll start off by saying that I think Shevchenko is going to win the fight. But the thing with Andrade is, even after that 3-round war with her versus Rose Namajunas, she came back pretty, way, in my opinion, I thought it was way too early for her to come back and fight after that. But she ended up beating Caitlin Chokagian in the first round, and it was very impressive for her to come back after a pretty close fight against Rose. But I think Shevchenko's too technical. I think, you think of the technical fighters in MMA right now. You got the Adesanyas, guys like that. But I think Shevchenko is probably in the top 3 most technically skilled strikers right now. I think if Jessica Andrade is going to win, she has to make it a dirty, like a dog fight. She has to like get inside, throw elbows.
Just
What?
Keep it close. She has to keep it really close if she wants to.
Exactly.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
she can't
Maybe
let
use a
Shev-
little bit of wrestling as well.
Yeah.
thing with that is though is that they have like equal submission victories. Like Shevchenko's no bum on the ground. She has over 5 submission victories, I
Yeah, but
believe.
on the feet, Shevchenko's going to be better. Not way better,
Really?
but significantly better.
Yeah, much.
I
yeah.
think you can't let Shevchenko manage the distance. I think she has to keep it inside, keep it close, get those elbows going. Man, whatever she can do to
Elbows.
stay away. Yeah, whatever she can do to stay away from Shevchenko's kicks or distance management is, to the level of Conor McGregor, maybe.
What you thinking, Aiden?
Okay, well, going off, so Jack's saying that she's a technical fighter, so that means that if, what's her name? Andrade, you say, how do I pronounce it?
Yeah.
If she is not on her A game and paying attention, then she will definitely get clipped. And by the way, you guys are describing Shevchenko, she sounds like a monster.
Yeah.
And is she Russian? Because Russian people are crazy.
Kyrgyzstan. So
Oh,
basically
Okay,
Russia.
Pretty much.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with Shevchenko, second round knockout.
Now that I think,
No. Oh my
I
God.
actually, who was it? Was it you, Nathan, that said it could go to decision? That's your
I
prediction?
think I said it could. I said it could.
go
I
to
think
this-
Andrade's chin is holding up a bit better
I-
at
What I'm saying.
125, but
I think-
All right,
I
let's
think
start,
that would
making,
be just pieces
let's-
apart. What'd you say?
let's start making predictions like when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm
thing
going to say a 4th round TKO.
I got a
It's just that
4-1 UD, 49-46 unanimous decision.
All right.
When Jack says a technical fighter like Adesanya, it makes me think of just that when a person fights that way, like if they land the right, like the perfect shot, it's over.
yeah,
You know, like,
I feel like like that Rose Namajunas fight, you could see that her chin was all there. But I feel like if that fight went 5 rounds, I'm not saying that it would have been her that got knocked out, but I think one of the two of them was definitely going to go down. That they're lucky if it was only a 3-round fight. I don't think it'll be an early KO for Shevchenko, but I think it'll be 5th, maybe 4th round. But I'm going to say 5th round finish for Shevchenko because I think Andrade can definitely eat all of her shots, most of them at least.
okay, wait, let me change my prediction then. 4th round KO. That's what we'll go with.
All right. So I got a
And
4th TKO.
next up, I think the fight of the night, a fight of the year contender, another one, Zhang Weili versus Rose Namajunas.
Whoa! Dog Rose!
Rose. These guys are both or I should say, these women are both very, very
these
good
guys, keep going.
strikers. Some of the best in the UFC, just pound for pound, period. Just end of the discussion. Gaethje and Kamaru, who both train with Rose, say that she's, she hits super hard, super technical. But we've seen Zhang Weili's chin hold up against Joanna. Just 5 hard rounds of throwing hard shots and taking them back. So I think the same thing happens. I think Zhang Weili, 3rd round knockout. I think we saw Rose's cardio. I don't know if it was because it was a 3-round fight that she was training for, but she got smoked in that 3rd round against Andrade. Broke her nose, swole up her eye. So I think she phased a little bit toward the end, and I think Zhang Weili 3rd round knockout.
That is interesting. I'm gonna let Alex go. Because I got quite a bit to say.
Okay, I think if you look at it like this, what's her name? Zhang had freaking Joanna looking like Megamind at the end of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
It was brutal. And you see what Rose did to Joanna. You could say that was lucky. She clipped her a few times, but that was calculated, I say. I think she's going to win by decision. Not unanimous, but I think it's going to be decision. I don't think it's going to be a slugfest like Joanna was. I think they'll get some dirty boxing in there, a couple clinches, maybe some just jumping on them. I don't really think it's going to go to the ground a lot. I don't think either of these fighters are very skilled at the ground other than they are on the feet. I think it's gonna be a good fight, but I don't think it's gonna be a fight of the year like the Zhang versus Joanna was. It's gonna be I got Rose though.
Man, Pfeiffer with the disrespect to Thug Rose. I think
For real.
what Rose Namajunas, I think I'm first and foremost, I'm taking Rose in this fight. Listen to this, man. Everyone thinks that just because they both have a chin and they both can throw shots, that it's going to be similar to the fight with Joanna Jędrzejczyk. But I don't think it'll be similar at all. I think for the first 2 or 3 rounds, it'll be somewhat similar. But I feel like Rose, there's massive differences in multiple things. In striking, they're pretty similar. They're equal level striking. I think Rose hits a bit harder than Zhang Wei Li, but I feel like Zhang Wei Li throws more than Rose. I think when it comes to the ground game, Rose has such a big advantage over Zhang. I think her jiu-jitsu and her grappling is way higher level. I'm not saying that Zhang Wei Li would look stupid if the fight goes to the ground, but I'm thinking that Rose definitely has a bigger advantage on that. So also when it comes to coaching, man, Rose is coached by the great Trevor Whitman. You know, she has a great camp, man. Like technically there's only 3 guys at her team, you know, Justin Gaethje, welterweight champ.
Isn't her UFC or MMA fighter too?
What?
Isn't her husband like an MMA fighter too?
Yeah, Pat Barry, fiance, was one of the best kickboxers of all time. He fought in the UFC. He did okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
like,
that camp is full of
that-
killers. You know, Curtis
Right.
Blades was in there for a bit, Drew Dober.
Because they train with they train with Elevation, which is another Colorado fight camp.
Yeah.
Overeem, Drew Dober, like you said, Curtis Blades, guys like that, man. That camp
If I
is so.
see you training with that Sub-Zero Elevation mask, I can't get
Yeah. I think what's going to happen is that the fight's going to start off similar to Zhang versus Joanna, but I think Rose, her key to success will be to mix in the takedowns every once in a while. I think Zhang might have taken Joanna down one time in that fight, maybe, if I remember it correctly, but it wasn't like she took her down and then they got right back up and started to trade again. I think Rose needs to take her down throughout the fight, mix in the takedowns, and then I think that she can. I'm gonna say Rose finishes the fight in the 4th round.
I think if she takes her down and sits on her for a little bit and gets Zhang tired,
Yeah,
kind of gassed in the 3rd to 4th round,
Because-
and she still got the energy, I think she'll win.
because Pfeiffer brought up Rose's cardio in the Andrade fight, but one thing people might forget because of how good and exciting a fight was, Zhang Wei Li actually started to slow down in that 3rd to 4th round against Joanna, and most people thought she barely lost those 2 rounds. Obviously, she got a second win kicked in the 5th round and ended up slithering out a win. A lot of people still think that fight could have gone Joanna, but I think cardio they're both questionable in this. I don't think that Rose, I don't think that Zhang has a huge cardio or any cardio advantage over Rose. Aiden, what do you think? It's tough to hear what you're saying. Thanks on you. Tough to hear what you're saying if you're
Thanks
mixing
on
My bad. Sorry. Is Zhang versus Joanna the fight that you guys are trying to get me to watch?
You're gonna watch all of them on the main card, and you know this. Come on.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna FaceTime you. I'm gonna stick my phone right in front of the screen, and you're gonna force to watch it.
And Wei Li won that one, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to go with Wei Li with this one because you guys said that fight is arguably one of the greatest fights ever.
Yep.
But do you not know what Rose did to Joanna?
Rose beat Joanna twice, definitively.
and
Zhang,
the wasn't even close.
the first one was a 1st round KO. Second
Okay,
one,
wait,
she
so,
won a
so
decision.
the,
But don't go based off MMA math. Just because they both beat Joanna, it doesn't mean that they're both
okay, so you said they're both pretty equal in striking. You said
I think Rose has a definite grappling advantage. Definitely.
Well, would you say their ground game is they're known for their ground game, or they're
Rose, I
average?
think Rose has an elite ground game as far
You
as
think
females.
so?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's elite. I think it's better
In
than
the
Zhang
female-
Wei Li.
Yeah. The only
Just because Kamaru is in her camp doesn't mean she gets his ground abilities too.
she has some wins by submission. She has more submission wins.
Her ground game doesn't mean it's just because she has wins by submission doesn't mean it's elite.
She
I
has
guess
5.
I'll also go with Zhang though because her record is way better. Only.
Right.
Only one
Well,
loss.
moving on, we got the main
All right.
event
To the
evening,
main event
the
of
rematch.
UFC.
We should all have the same answer. for this one. We
261.
know who's gonna win this one.
Now Jack's a
Okay.
hater. He's not gonna have the same answer.
We got Jorge Street Judas Masvidal, and then we
Is
got
that what they
Marty.
call him?
That's what Colby Chaos commented. Then we got Marty from Nebraska, aka the
Jesus
Nigerian foot
Christ.
stomper, aka Marty Fake Newsman, aka the current welterweight champ,
AKA
Kamaru.
who's gonna
He's the
win?
Nigerian
Who's gonna
nightmare.
be-
And we'll start off with
Actually,
Pfizer.
longest winning streak of all time at welterweight history. Kamaru Usman. Yep, exactly the guy that's gonna win. I think you look at both sides of the story. Masvidal, how's he gonna win? He's gonna clip him. That's the only way he wins. Usman, he could knock him out. He could take him down. He can stomp his feet, but he'll still win. So I think Usman wins, and I'm gonna might be a little controversial. I'm gonna go third round knockout, just like Gilbert Burns. I think he still has power. No one really gives Usman his striking credits, but we saw what he just did to Gilbert Burns, one of the hardest hitting guys at 170, and he knocked him out with a jab. So I think his power is gonna wear on him over the first couple rounds. I think he gets a late third round TKO.
I'm gonna go with Usman too. A lot of the Jorge's was it top game is better than Usman, but a lot of people think that Usman does not have like ability to punch. We saw him with Colby Covington. We saw the slugfest. Two elite wrestlers who was barely on the
Actually
ground.
murdered him.
Well, he didn't murder. It wasn't an absolute murder.
Dude, you
Yeah.
can't
They were-
say that.
Bro,
He was
broke
up.
his jaw.
Yeah, he
I've
broke
seen
his
it.
jaw, but Colby won 3 rounds of the 4 it went.
But it's unfortunate that he got finished. So
Yeah,
So-
it's not a murder.
He
You've never
got
even seen that.
absolutely
he got
pumped.
finished.
but
He got
He,
finished.
he got rocked, but Aiden's
Rocked.
describing it like Colby Covington lost every single round.
No, it was.
When are you gonna admit that
good
he's
fight.
a bum, bro?
But
we saw
Usman
that-
was punching him in the head as blood was flying out of his mouth. So
Okay,
Goddard had to
Jack.
save him.
It was I'm not denying that he won by a fucking knockout. Like, I know the facts, but you can't say that Usman murdered him when Colby was winning the entire fight.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah.
3 rounds to 1.
We saw Usman have a good game. 2 elite wrestlers, they just slugged it out. Usman knocked him out. We saw that. And Usman's obviously one of the best wrestlers in UFC right now. It's not even close between Jorge and Usman. If Usman wants, he could win this fight without even lifting a finger. He could take him to the ground and just spend all his time there. Jorge did do a good job of stuffing those takedowns in the first fight, but if Usman lands one takedown, takes him down successfully, I see it's over. So I got Usman. I'm gonna say by submission in the 4th.
Ooh, I like it. I
Okay,
like
wait,
it.
so Jack, let me go before you because I know you're probably gonna have a difference in opinion than all of us. I'm gonna take Usman as well. He's definitely a better wrestler than him, and just like Alex said, just gets that right takedown. Maybe put him in a submission or just I don't know TKO him right there. But I'll probably go third round TKO Usman.
Thanks for the explanation. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. You're the best.
I guess it's my turn then. Aiden thinks that I have a different opinion than you guys, but to be honest, I haven't decided who I think is going to win the fight yet. Here's why. People discredit what?
Why are we recording, man?
People discredit. People say that Usman's striking is discredited. I think the same can be said for Masvidal's takedown defense. I believe it was like double-digit takedowns, something like that he stuffed against Usman in the first round. Listen, Usman's striking.
In the first round, are you
They're
sure?
not in the
First
first
round?
round, not the first round. In the fight, I believe. I think yeah. I'm looking at 11 takedown defenses by Masvidal in the first fight. Let's be real, man. Usman said after he had a good performance against Gilbert Burns in the striking for the most part. In the second 2 rounds, he did. In the first round, he looked a bit shaky, but Gilbert Burns is no scrub. I think Usman really wants to finish Masvidal. That's the only reason why he would choose Masvidal as an opponent. Because realistically, if you look at Usman's other fights, sure, the Colby Covington fight deserves to have a rematch, but he did end up finishing Colby. He finished Gilbert Burns impressively. Masvidal is the only guy that he really hasn't finished and hasn't really settled the score with. I think that I think that it would go really bad for Usman if he decides to strike with Masvidal. I think that Usman thinks that he wants to get the finish on Masvidal, but I think the smartest game plan for him would be pretty much the exact same thing he did for the last 4 rounds in the first fight, as boring as it was. Hug him, clinch him, stomp on his toes, whatever, man. If all that happens to Masvidal at the end of the fight is if he has a bruised toe, then it is what it is. But Usman still ended up with the win. I think striking-wise, Pfeiffer said Masvidal's only chance of winning was clipping him. I think that's disrespectful that Masvidal's striking because,
How else is he going to win?
Huh?
How else is he going to beat him if it's not with a
No, I agree that he would beat him on the feet, but to say clip implies that it wouldn't be like an accurately timed strike and just say that he was throwing his hands.
Well, Usman's smart. If he's getting clipped, he's getting beat. He's not going to.
Usman's been rocked a lot.
Usman has been rocked. He got rocked. He got knocked down.
He's not just going to leave his chin out like Anderson.
I feel like if he gets clipped, then he's just going to try to take him to the ground immediately.
I didn't say that he wouldn't get clipped. I'm saying that Pfeiffer saying that that's his only chance of winning implies that his striking IQ isn't as high as it is. You know, Usman has gotten rocked before. 30 seconds into that Gilbert Burns fight, he was knocked down by Gilbert. Gilbert, you know, I think he could have won that fight if he didn't exert all of his energy trying to fucking pounce on Usman. But it is what it is. I think Masvidal, you know, he knocked out Darren Till. Yeah, that wasn't a clip. That was a clean shot. He demolished. What?
Who do you think's gonna win?
Jorge Gamebred Masvidal.
We went through all that just for you to. Oh my.
It's a dumb pick.
What do you think it's gonna be?
I think if he beats him, that he has to beat him early. So I'm saying
the first round.
Second round.
Yeah, that's the only way. It's the only way.
Second round KO. I'm not fully committed to this, but I think that there's a very high chance that Usman wins the fight. But if Masvidal does it, he has to do it early.
All right. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.